Apparently the Barnett.
No, it's nothing new. That's just the domain. I was just so school because when we open it, just remind it, testimony's good.
Small world.
I know.
Final comment of who? They're gonna get out. Good, how are you?
Oh, don't worry,
You're both on.
If the minutes are too much for you, we can do next meeting because it's a lot. But I'm okay.
Yeah, let's do it, let's do it next meeting.
Next meeting,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I think it will be lighter.
Yeah, okay.
I just feel bad for you.
All right, is it 7 o'clock? Yeah. All right, call to order. Hereby announce pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act that adequate notice of this meeting has been transmitted on January 24th, 2024 by the Board Administrative Officer to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, the Township Clerk, and has been posted in the meetings room and in the entrance hall and Town Hall, all pursuant to Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Roll call.
Mr. Connolly?
Here.
Mr. Ackerson?
Here.
Mr. Romano is absent. And Mr. Fagan is absent. Mr. Mon?
Here.
Mr. Emma?
Here.
Mr. Tom King? Ms. Plausas? Mr. Silberman?
Here.
Mr. Dorse is absent. Mr. Bell is absent. Thank you.
At this time, we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a moment of silence for our military, police, and first responders. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. All right, at this time, we're just gonna, we have the minutes from the August 5th, 2025 meeting. Do we have any comments on it or a motion to accept them? Second. Okay.
Eligible to vote, Mr. Ackerson?
Yes.
Mr. Connolly?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. King? Ms. Plausas? Mr. Silberman?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes for August 5th, 2025 meeting was successfully adopted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda is PB 2024-D, the Chabad Jewish Center of BCC Inc., 816 Homedale Road, Block 29, Lot 35, R40B zone, preliminary and final major site plan. Applicant seeks a preliminary and final major site plan approval to construct a 15,053 square foot house of worship building, along with a 5,129 square foot parsonage, rabbi's residence, along with related site improvements. At this time, we have counsel for the applicant.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. As you know, Jennifer Krimko from Ansel, Grimm and Aaron on behalf of the applicant. I know it's been a few months, but as the board may remember, I didn't do anything. You closed the public portion of the hearing and asked for a courtesy adjournment to give you the opportunity to collect your thoughts, with today's meeting only being for my closing argument as well as your vote. So I'm going to not take a lot of time because I love and respect Sal Alfieri, and he made sure to ask me, this is just your closing arguments and a vote, right? I said yes. So just very briefly, and really for purposes of the record, and more importantly for the public, not as much for you folks, as I know that you sat through all of this and you know what this is all about. But the use that we're seeking is conditionally permitted, and as proposed, we meet all of the conditions. That means that we don't need a use variance or any type of D variance at all, which is why we're here as opposed to the zoning board. Since all of the conditions are met, we're considered a permitted use in the zone, so this board has to look at whether or not we meet your site plan ordinance requirements. Interestingly, several members of public objected, stating that the project offered no public benefit to the township. In the first instance, that's contrary to the statute and the case law. Any house of worship is considered by statute and by case law inherently beneficial, which means that there is a public benefit just by its existence. But secondly, and more importantly, with a permitted use, there is no requirement that we demonstrate a public benefit. That proof is only required when a use variance is granted or needed. The neighbors' objections and concerns were mainly based on the use in this location, and there were a lot of comments about changing the residential character or changing the complexion of the neighborhood. The governing body's already determined that the use is appropriate here, so the impact of the neighborhood based solely on the use is not really something that, as you know, this board can consider. The neighbors also objected based on traffic, and the traffic not in and out of our site, but its impact on existing roadways. Again, this was a consideration for the governing body when they approved this use at this location. The law is very clear, and while you can certainly, and you did, consider safe ingress and egress, parking, and site circulation, and I'm quoting our appellate division, the authority to prohibit or limit uses generating traffic into already congested streets is an exercise of the zoning power vested only in the municipal governing body. Simply stated, off-site traffic generation onto surrounding roads is not something that you guys consider when considering a site plan. You just consider the on-site and the in and out. There were comments from both the members of the public as well as at least one or two board members just expressing potential concern with regard to the scope and size of what we're proposing. And I believe at least one member made a reference to squeezing the development in. So I just want to put it all into context for you and for the public because I think it's important. The minimum lot size required is 4 acres. We're more than double at 9.37. The minimum lot depth is 300 feet. We're more than double at 683. The minimum lot frontage and width is 150. We're almost 4 times that at 564 and 572. The front yard setback requirement is 50. The house of worship is 4 times that at 196. And the parsonage is more than 5 times that. More than 10 times that at 572. Side yard setback is 50. We comply with the house, and the house of worship is nearly 4 times that. We are under the building height for both buildings, and most importantly, we're significantly under the 28% permitted coverage for this use. We're only at 22.18. So by every metric that your ordinance imposes on this use, we not only comply, but we're actually much smaller than what would be permitted on this property. And what this means in simplest terms is that the size and scope of the project is indisputably appropriate for this property in this location by every applicable standard that the ordinance provides. There was additional comments and concerns. Not only were there members of the public who spoke with comments and concerns, and I think throughout the 2 hearings we addressed a lot of them. But there were also, I just remind you, many members of the public who spoke in favor and were looking forward to an addition of the synagogue to your community. So as you look at the site plan ordinance, you also look at variances and design waivers. And in this case, and as characterized by both your engineer and your planner, the requests that we are making are de minimis in nature and based solely on the site constraints, not on the use at all. What do I mean by that? Well, we need to disturb steep slopes. However, you heard testimony that the steep slopes being disturbed are all man-made. They're not the types of slopes that your ordinance intended to protect. Importantly, we're not disturbing any of the natural that is a tongue twister, any of the natural steep slopes. So those are being preserved consistent with the intent of your ordinance. The only design waiver we're seeking is as it relates to the placement of shade trees. As you heard through the testimony, we have some very significant grade changes at the front of the property necessitating a guide rail as well as wetlands. We can't plant within those areas. So as a result, we can't meet the technical requirement of 50 feet on center. The good news is we are meeting the quantity requirement that we would be required to do if we were able to meet it. We just have to place it outside of those restrained areas. Similarly, because of those site constraints and wetlands, we can't put in sidewalks. Whether or not it's a technical waiver, I'm not sure, but at the end of the day, your ordinance allows us to pay into the sidewalk fund, and we're doing that, so we're in full compliance with that requirement. From the time we submitted until the plan that was concluded before you at the last meeting, we made significant changes over those 2 hearings, as well as after the technical meeting with the board's professionals. And we believe we addressed all of the legitimate comments and concerns of the board and the public. In addition to the changes we made to the plans, we agreed to any and all reasonable conditions, and I'll just list them out for you, and I know Marty, should the board vote favorably, will do a better job than I will right now. But we agreed to reduce the lighting overnight to just security lighting, subject to the review and approval of the board engineer. We, as I stated before, agreed to contribution to the sidewalk fund. We agreed to a condition that there'd be no outdoor music for any events. We agreed to recording a conservation easement for the rear wetlands area. And most importantly, we agreed for compliance with the board engineer's technical comments in his June 25th, 2025 report. Additionally, equally importantly, there was a lot of concern with regard to the septic. And as you know, and this is really more for the public than for the board, any action taken by the planning board is expressly conditioned on the applicant obtaining all outside agency approvals. In this case, that includes county planning board, it includes DEP relative to the wetlands on site, all of the local utilities, and approval for the proposed septic system by both the DEP, who has to issue a slow sewer flow determination, and then ultimately the Monmouth County Department of Health. As is the case with all applications and this application, in the event any of these outside agencies require a material change that over what this board saw on their plans, we would be required to come back to you and seek an amended approval for this material change. So, in sum, what you have here is an as-of-right development, which is a conforming use, and it meets all of the township site plan ordinance requirements and bulk standards, with the exception of the few technical that I mentioned. Accordingly, based on this, along with all the expert testimony, both from the applicant's witnesses as well as your own professional planner and professional engineer, the exhibits, and consistent with the requirements under the municipal land use law, we respectfully request that you approve the application before you and welcome this new synagogue into the Homedale community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Counselor. Do we ask our professionals for any comment? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Craig or Kate, if you have something to add to that before we move on.
I have nothing to add unless there's any questions from the board members.
Yes, I agree. I think that the council accurately summed up our letters.
Agreed.
Okay. And I just want to remind the public that, because there's that last time we were here, public questions and comments are closed, so there will be none of that today. We're just going to have the board asking some questions, and then at that point we'll decide to move forward or not. So if anyone has something to say on this dais here.
I have one. I have a question.
Good.
You mentioned traffic considerations. I just want to know from our professionals, will traffic considerations be considered not by this board, but some outside agency to the impact on traffic in the area?
The county approval will consider traffic because it's a county right away. So
And
it's a
if-
county road.
And if the county comes back with an unfavorable traffic report, per se?
So I can address that, yes. So a couple things. For example, if this was, when I say that you can't consider it, the appropriate body who governs the roadway can always consider it and may say, well, even if it's a permitted use, once you develop it, the road's not going to be able to handle it, so you have to widen it. You have to add a left turn. You have to add a light. In this case, it's not and the doing that would be our fair share based on the traffic on the roadway. Since it's not a municipal roadway, that's a consideration for the county. So we can't move forward, and that was why I put that part in there, without a county approval. So if the county says, well, we want you to widen this, we want you to move this lane, otherwise we can't approve this, then we have to do that in order to get approved. So they're gonna look at the traffic impacts to the county road that we're on, and require us to make whatever improvements are necessary until they're satisfied that the impact along our roadway can be addressed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mann, I would also note that this is standard for county roadways. The applicant is proposing a 40-foot right-of-way dedication, because the county has a roadway master plan that says the rights-of-way that they want, and if you develop along the county roadway and the street is not that width, you are required to do that dedication.
And
So-
if I may, Mr. Mann, to just add one thing relative to the county, I know that your former board chair questioned me at the beginning of the hearing, and I heard this from several people as well as the rabbi. The synagogue is not required to make an $800,000 contribution to the county drainage structures. Similar to roadway improvements, whenever you develop on a county road and it drains to a county drainage structure, you're required to contribute your fair share to the improvement of that drainage structure. So what the county does is they look at what would the cost be to replace it, and they look at all the properties that are draining to it. And then they allocate you your fair share of what that would be, what percentage that would be. So no different than any other, we're not required to upgrade it, we're not required to do anything, but pay our fair share towards it if and when the county does improve it. And because you raised the county and you're, out of courtesy to your former board chair, I just wanted to also put that on the record.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Anyone else? You're on.
Are you aware of the letter that was
No.
sent out by the, I believe it was the Monmouth County Health Department denying you your flow?
No, so they didn't deny us the flow. Respectfully, it's not part of the record, so I'm not quite sure how it's part of the board's review. But
Yeah.
notwithstanding that, the county didn't deny us anything. We made application to the county, and the director indicated that he believed that our flow is going to generate more than 2,000. What he further agreed to was that ultimately it's the DEP's decision as to whether or not we meet the flow. So what I put in, what we testified to at the last meeting, and what I put in my closing was, we're getting a sewer flow analysis or approval from the DEP, which the County Board of Health has agreed to follow. So one of two things happens. One, the DEP agrees with our sewer engineers and says we're under the 2,000 and the septic is appropriate. Or two, they say it's not, at which point we may have to, for example, remove the warming kitchen altogether. Again, not a material change that affects this. So, Mr. King, respectfully, the hearing's closed, and whatever document you're referring to, I don't know, but there is no document from the County Board of Health that's part of this board's consideration.
Yeah, and one thing, Tom, remember one thing, that we are not voting on whether their proposal complies. We're just voting on the plan,
Site plan.
site plan.
Right, not
Eventually,
like- right.
eventually they're gonna have to obtain all the necessary approvals from all the necessary agencies, signing off on all that.
Right, so it's whether or not we comply with your ordinance, not whether or not we comply with the county health department's regulations.
Because the way this letter was worded,
I have to
Yeah,
object.
yeah.
Yeah, Tom, it's not part of the record, so we can't consider it. But our resolution will be conditioned on approval by the county and DEP for that septic.
Yeah. Yeah. Get around.
Just as a demonstration of the goodwill that you extended to one of the homeowners that testified last time, it may not be germane to this, but you made an offer. The gentleman that lives just to the north of the site, he wanted a higher fence or different shrubs or something. Again, you had a conversation during one of the breaks, and I just wanted to see, was there a concession made to that
No,
homeowner?
so the answer is yes, in that the rabbi, again, not really part of your consideration, but I'm happy to.
I'm just trying to show
But
the
you're
public.
you're being friendly, so I'll be friendly. So what I explained to him is that we weren't willing to delay the hearing to revise the plans to make any changes to it. What we asked was, let us build it, should you approve it. We'll put in all the required landscaping and fencing that we agreed to. And if there's an issue, he has the rabbi's cell number, and I believe I even gave him my cell phone number, come to us, and we're gonna work it out with you. We wanna be a good neighbor to you. We believe that what we're proposing is gonna be more than adequate. It's gonna shield all of the lights. It's gonna be a substantial buffer, which we enhanced based on our technical review meeting with your professionals. But yes, we're committing, and we committed on the record, that we will work with him, even if it means going to the board engineer and going to the board planner to see if there's an administrative change to let us add more trees, for example. So that's really where it left. But we were willing to extend the time in which the board could render a decision as a courtesy of the board, but we couldn't start revising plans based on each neighbor's request one by one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no? Okay. The only one thing that I have to add is a request about the signage. If, do we have the number of the street on the actual sign?
If the number of the street is not on it, we will gladly add it, because it's important, one, for wayfinding, but two, for emergency vehicles.
Right, that's the
So
only thing I have to add. Yeah.
I would happily add that to the list of conditions.
Okay, great. Okay, if nobody has any more questions or comments, what's that? Yeah, someone makes a motion to accept? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second?
That's for the record, subject to all conditions that were read.
County and,
Yes, we'll verify them when I do the resolution, but I
Right.
think Jennifer hit them all, but if there's any others. we
All
agreed to.
outside agency approvals
That's-
necessary in
That's
order to
standard.
develop the
Any of the
property.
specific ones will also during the hearing will be in the resolution.
Mr. Connolly,
Yes.
Mr. Eckerson,
Yes.
Mr. Mon,
Yes.
Mr. Emma,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Plausas, Mr. Silberman.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Motion has passed.
Thank you, Counselor. Oh, all right. All right, we're on to item number 2. What's that, you leave? Okay. PB 21-663 Heavenly Estates, 26 Main Street, Block 2, Lots 2 and 26, R4R Zone, preliminary and final major subdivision with associated bulk variances. The applicant seeks preliminary and final major subdivision approval to create 16 single residential lots, with 1 lot to contain the existing single-family home and 3 open space, and 1 open space stormwater lot. Proposed lot 2.02 will require variance for accessory side yard setback where 20 feet is required, and 9.52 exists to a metal storage shed, and accessory rear yard setback where 20 feet is required, and 15.15 exists to the stable. We have to swear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell everyone, but Brian was away, I was away. We don't have much. I'm sorry. It's my fault. We're never coming back.
They don't have a laptop.
We don't have to mount it. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Salvatore Alfieri on behalf of the applicant. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, Marty, I think we have to swear everyone
Yeah.
in for this,
Yeah,
before
we'll
this,
swear you in. When you're ready, we'll swear in.
before you start.
Who do you have tonight?
Just Brian Murphy. While Brian's setting up, can I just bring the board up to speed on
Yeah,
where
sure.
we were and where we left off previously? This application was approved this property had approval many years ago for 18 building lots. Those approvals have expired. In the interim, the DEP regulations have changed, which resulted in a complete redesign of the project. We had public hearings starting in '22 on this application, and then one in '23, and then one in 2024. In May of this year, our engineer submitted a revised plan in an effort to address many of the comments that were raised during the course of the various prior testimonies. We have received, the end result of it is that we have 15 building lots now instead of the 18 that was previously approved. There's 19 total with 15 building. We've received reports from your engineer August 26th, the Environmental Commission August 25th, departmental reviews, and then the planner's report as well. We only have one witness to present, and that's Brian Murphy, our engineer. He was sworn in and qualified, but you may, if you want to re-swear him.
Yeah,
we
with
can.
the time and the calendar, Brian, we'll swear in our professionals again, just for the record. Does everyone swear and affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Brian Murphy, MURPHY.
Oh.
I'm sorry for the, did I miss something? Ms. Plausas,
Oh, yes.
she excused herself, so let's put it on the record.
She did recuse herself for potential
I'm sorry.
conflict. And since we're kind of, I know we started this, we're continuing, but everything's up to date, but we did a
Escrow is
renotice,
fine
I
then.
think,
Yes.
right? You did a notice
Yes.
new? Everything was.
That's correct.
And Mr. Murphy, you're the, I guess just again, because of the passage of time, would you just place your credentials on the record? please?
Sure, licensed professional engineer and planner in the state of New Jersey. I've been before this board and roughly 100 other boards throughout the state. I've been accepted by the courts as well as a professional engineer. My licenses are current as well.
Okay, you can proceed.
So, you heard the introduction I made to the board. Can you describe for the board the changes that were made to the application, to the plan since we were last here?
Sure. We removed 2 building lots. We added the trail along the Willow Brook. The county, we've reached out to the county. The county has expressed that they are interested in taking the open space lot that'll contain the Willow Brook and the trail. Obviously, we still need DEP approval for that trail, but we're pursuing that. We removed all lots from the buffer areas. Removed all the lots from the buffer areas. And the open space lots up along Newman Springs are roughly 400 feet deep, so we made those larger, removed the 2 lots. So now we're at 19 lots total. 15 of those are proposed single-family house lots. 1 will contain the existing house on the property, and then 3 are open space lots, which are the 2 up along the roadway on either side of the proposed road, and then the 1 larger, roughly 58-acre open space lot that runs along the brook. Again, as we've discussed previously, the original master plan and zoning considered a 150-foot buffer along this area. Now it is a 300-foot buffer due to the C1 stream, so that compresses the area that we can construct. And additionally, we removed the 2 lots. We increased the open space lots. This all resulted in 5 of these lots having lot area variances as a result. Lot 2.04 is 56,695 square feet. Lot 2.05 is 54,938 square feet. Lot 2.08 is 55,657 square feet. Lot 2.09 is 51,411 square feet. And lot 212 is 50,796 square feet. So all of them are well above an acre in size. I will point out that all the lot dimensions, lot setbacks, coverage is all compliant with the zone. There's no waivers or variances requested for that. So all the setbacks will comply. As I indicated, the 150 buffer went to a 300-foot buffer, which compressed the buildable area. Also of note is the bulk requirement, besides the bulk requirements being met, the density of the project, 1 lot per 5 acres is permitted. We're at 1 lot per 5.77, so almost a 20%, 15% increase in acreage per lot. And also the open space, 60% is required, and we're at approximately 69%.
As a result, I don't see any negative impact to granting the variance of these lot areas, and they'll not provide any substantial detriment to the public, actually creating open space and completing part of the county trail system, not impair the intent or purpose of the zone plan or zoning ordinance, as it's generally compliant with both. Again, we're in the R4R rural zone, and we're developing under the cluster, under the Green Estate House development requirements. Under the positive criteria, we look no further than the purpose of the MLUL. We provide adequate light, air, and open space, as the open space requirement is substantially exceeded with the application. We provide sufficient space in appropriate locations for a variety of agricultural, residential, recreational, and open space. Again, we exceed the open space. We're providing public open space, and we're well under the density that's required in the zone. I see that the benefits of the deviation will outweigh any kind of detriment that would be associated with the project. To comply would create an undue hardship, as the practical difficulties. The master plan also states that the boundaries of the maps that are shown on the master plan should be considered approximate and subject to reasonable modification for site factors. Certainly, doubling of the buffers is a substantial impact and a site factor. There are several waivers as well. Under 30-103K9B, the state street specification for rural conservation areas. There's a couple items in here that are in conflict within the ordinance, so I'll just go through them. I guess technically we need a waiver from one section even though it complies with another. The pavement width, 26 feet minimum and maximum is permitted. RSI supersedes this requirement. We're proposing 30. I'll also note that in section 30-103C, for a rural lane, which we are, with curbs on both sides, a two-way travel way of 11 feet and a shoulder of 8 feet would be required, which gives you 30, which is what we're providing. So we feel that we're meeting one section of the ordinance, though it conflicts with another.
What does RSIS state about the minimum width?
The minimum width is 28 feet, but we may exceed if we wish. The curb radius at intersections, 15 to 20% is required, is permitted. We're proposing 30 at the county roadway intersection. Again, it's under the county jurisdiction. And to reference 30-103K6B, that section of the ordinance states that it does not apply to county and state intersections. So I don't believe it does apply, but it's in that other section. Sidewalks on both sides. RSIS again supersedes, and sidewalk is provided on one side. Street lighting, 15-foot max height is permitted. We have that within the development. There's this one pole that's at the intersection, which again is under the county jurisdiction, where we have a county light, so that's 30 foot high. It's typical Cobra light at the intersection. And that provides really safety lighting at an intersection, because you're looking at higher speeds of people coming in and out. The cul-de-sac center landscape island, when we have that, the cartway should be 14 to 15 feet around it. We have a center green with this application and a 50-foot proposed cartway around it. I can reduce that by increasing the size of the green island in the middle, but I wouldn't do the 15, just because if we have a fire truck trying to negotiate around that and we have a car parked on there, it's not going to make it. So I would request a 30-foot cartway instead of the 14 to 15. I think it'll be more appropriate. 30-103K5, street trees every 50 feet. So we're providing the adequate number of street trees. It's just we had to shift some of them off of that 50-foot mark because of the septics. We have to have the septic requirements require a certain distance from the septics, so we had to shift the trees. So we have the same number of trees, that they're just shifted and not at exactly 50 feet every 50 feet. They're staggered a little more than that. Preservation areas dedicated to an HOA or township. This is really a technical waiver because it's the HOA or township, where that back lot, again, would be going to the county. So technically, that would be a waiver. Section 30-5C2, HOA lots shall be between 5 to 8 acres. Lot 2.01, which is the larger lot, is 58 acres, so we're well in excess of that. Lot 203 and 219, which are the open space lots up along the frontage, are 2.9 and 2.4 respectively. Sidewalks along Route 520, none are proposed. There's no sidewalks to connect to. And you'll note the area to the east is wetlands and wetland buffers and steep slopes along that edge, so we couldn't possibly construct a sidewalk in that area.
So the applicant would make a payment in lieu if that's required?
Yeah, along that frontage, yes. Public access to preservation areas on the site. Again, if we're proposing it along the access of South Homedale Road, as long as DEP approves it in that area, we're certainly happy to construct it. But it's really under all the DEP requirements. Trails per the master plan along Willow Brook. Again, we're proposing it. We're proposing to build it and give the whole thing to the county, but at the end of the day, we're all under DEP requirements, so as long as DEP approves that, we're happy to build it. Curb radius, 20 feet, where 25 feet is proposed internally. That's right at the bend of the cul-de-sac. Again, that provides better circulation for fire trucks and school buses and those larger. In practicality, you're not going to notice a 5-foot difference in radius out in the field when you're looking at the radius of that coming into that cul-de-sac. But it will make a difference for the turning movements of the larger vehicles. We, as Sal indicated, we've received a few of the review letters. The PSNS letter dated 8/26/25. We agree with all the comments in that letter. There's a couple of items that requested discussion. On page 3, item D, the gross density is 5.77 acres per unit, where 5 is required. Page 3, item E, 69% open space where 60 is required. Page 3, item F. This will be addressed at the plot plan. We provided a plot plan of the smallest lot with a pool. If you remember, the board asked us to provide that to see how that would fit and look, so we provided that. We're not proposing the plot plan. We're not proposing even the pool. It's just an exhibit. So we're not looking to build that. We're not looking for any approval of that. It's just purely an exhibit for the board's
So the
use.
purpose of that was to demonstrate that each of the lots can have the standard residential amenities to accommodate a normal homeowner, a pool, a shed, a patio, etc.
That's correct.
And you used the smallest lot to demonstrate.
That's correct. So we're not looking to construct anything. We're not looking to build the pool as part of this. It's just purely an exhibit. Page 7, item 7B, we'll delineate basically it's asking where the buffer lines are to provide along those back lots to provide some kind of marker. So we'd provide a marker basically at the corner of the lots, and in the center of the lots is what we would propose to have it along basically all those lots so that everyone knows where that line is. Page 7, item 7C, asks for a landscape easement over reservation areas. We agree to that as long as the county agrees with it on the lot that's going to them. So they may not want a township easement over their lot that they're ultimately going to have. Certainly the front 2 lots that are going to be HOA lots, we would agree to that. But the condition for the township lot or the lot that's going to the county would be dependent on the county. Philip Price.
Before you move on
Yes.
to that, just I want to clarify, there's an HOA proposed that will maintain certain aspects of the project, and then the county would own a different aspect. Can you just distinguish for the board what the HOA will handle and what will be conveyed to the county?
Sure. So the HOA is going to be responsible for the dry wells on site, the rain gardens, and the basins, and also for the 2 front open space lots that are along each side of the entrance road. Those will be HOA owned. The rear lot, the larger open space lot, which is roughly 58 acres, lot 2.01, that would be proposed to be conveyed to the county.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Is that 58 acres in the back is that where there was a hazardous waste issue that the previous owner got fined for dumping back there? Is that the lot we're talking about? Because you mentioned the access would be from South Homedale Road.
Yes.
And that's exactly where the hazardous waste dump was, and still is, to my knowledge.
I don't believe there was any hazardous waste.
Okay,
There-
well,
there was
someone got fined for dumping back there.
There was fill material.
Maybe I shouldn't say hazardous
Yeah.
waste, illegal dumping, let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Soil was dumped.
yeah.
So is that the lot that you're proposing the county's gonna take over for the walking trail?
The 58-acre lot, yes.
So anything that might be back there, because I just want to push, I'll reserve my comments for later. Thank you.
Well, Irene, do we need to mark that exhibit if we're going to refer to it? So
Have to if he's referring to it.
I just saw Ron pointing, so I'm not
He
sure.
hasn't yet, but now that Ron
Yeah.
pointed.
He wasn't referring yet, so that's what I was waiting for.
We left off, I have as A3 was the last one in 2024.
Yeah, we'll double check, but if it's wrong, we'll amend it internally. So that's 4, you're marking that, Brian?
Yeah, 8/4/9, and I put the date on it also.
And just identify for the record.
It's sheet 4/28, last revised May 4th, 2025. It's just a color rendering of that plan that was submitted.
Sounds correct.
Now, in the cul-de-sac, there's an island there, right? It's landscaped?
Yes.
The HOA is going to take care of that? Is that the, because I didn't, did you mention that when you said it's part of what they were doing?
I did not, but yes.
Okay.
So, the basins are on the county property, correct?
correct.
And I apologize if you went over this, but is there gonna be an easement to the HOA? How's that gonna be
Yeah,
handled?
so we're proposing an easement to the HOA, so that the HOA obviously is gonna maintain and own those.
It sounds like it is.
Sounds like-
Just seems to
yeah,
bring it a
sounds-
little closer, yeah. So, okay, so,
But
yeah,
if,
go ahead.
if they require it to be on a separate lot, then we'll just basically create a lot just for that, but it wouldn't be a building lot, it would only be a basin lot essentially.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you would have to come back.
Yeah.
It would be just technical, but it would be that. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure if, I'm not familiar with anything like that with the county. I wasn't, have you discussed it with them or?
When we met with them, they didn't have an issue, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean it's not gonna come up as an
Got it,
issue.
got it. Okay, so,
Yeah.
you know, just that's just something to note that, you know, no matter what, the HOA will be responsible
Yes.
for those basins.
Yes, one
Okay.
way or another, they will be responsible.
Okay.
So the two lots that I'm referring to that are open space owned by the HOA are up along either side of the boulevard or the roadway that's coming in. And we have the green space in the middle of the cul-de-sac, which also would be maintained by the HOA. The larger lot that you see wrapping around the building or around the property, that contains the brook and the trail that we're proposing as part of the county trail system. And that's the lot that the county will be taking.
You done, Mr. Murphy?
No.
Or, oh, no.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
The Philip Price letter dated 8/29/25. Again, we agree to all the comments in the letter. There's a couple items that need to be discussed. Page 5, item 4, regarding the second house that's on the existing lot, or the lot that's going to remain, that second house would be demolished as part of this application. So there will only be one house on that lot, one primary house, not two primary houses, which would be a use variance. Page 6, item 9, the trail would be owned by the county.
Sorry, Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
are you also gonna be demolishing the sheds and things that encroach
Yes.
onto the adjacent properties?
Yes,
Okay, just making
those-
sure.
Yeah.
None of those were landmarked, right? Am I confusing that with something else? Were those homes? No, right? Okay. All right. Never mind.
Page 6, item 10, again, that these are regarding the basin, so they'll be within easements. And again, if the county objects, we'd have to put it within a lot, but we'll be back here for this if it becomes a lot. But either way, it'll be owned and maintained by the HOA. The Environmental Commission letter 8/25/25, they're looking for something in writing for proof of dedication. That proof will be the plat. So the plat will show that that lot's being dedicated to county. The county will be signing off on that plat, and that plat will be filed. So that would be your proof.
And the county will also require an actual deed conveying the parcel to them ultimately.
Correct. They also mentioned having an extension of the trail to the end of the cul-de-sac. We would rather not do that for a couple of reasons. One, we worry about people parking on the cul-de-sac to try to access the trail system. So basically, and secondly is kind of safety, having people kind of come in that way into the cul-de-sac that you really can't see or see coming in. So, and really, if you want to access the trail from the site, you're really just walking around the block. So we would ask not to do that.
But we would defer to the board on your desire.
That's correct. And again, of course, that connection, if we do it, would be dependent on DEP and the county agreeing to that as well. The next question is regarding the markers along the preservation area. We agree to provide the markers along the preservation area. Ownership and maintenance of the rain gardens and dry wells, they'll be detailed in the O&M manual. That'll be filed by deed, and they will be owned and maintained by the HOA. Lot 210 and 212 do not have dry wells or rain gardens. That is correct. They're not needed for those two lots, so we are not providing them. Lastly, they requested the removal of the trees of heaven. We agree to do that, as long as it's not within any restricted buffers that we can't go in and clear. So any areas outside of that, we would agree to remove that. Lastly, received 8/5/25 or their interdepartmental reviews. The Board of Health had no comment. Director of Infrastructure had no comment. Fire official had no comment. First aid had no comment. The traffic safety officer had no new comments, but referred to his prior comments, which we've agreed to and addressed. The construction official also had no comments. That is my testimony.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Craig and Kate?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So looking through my letter, Mr. Murphy really addressed the letter in whole and in specific locations, particularly with the items related to the street requirements. I agree with Mr. Murphy's account for the reasoning for those. Mr. Murphy also, under our planning and zoning, we talked about adding some of the numbers, the density, and the percentage of open space, which Mr. Murphy gave us numbers. If we could just add those to the plans so that they're in front of us. And I had a number of comments related to the pool exhibit. After I watched the videos today, I kind of understood what that was, and then Mr. Murphy kind of explained that, so that was helpful, and we have no additional comments to that. As far as stormwater management, it's all very technical in nature. Mr. Murphy agreed, and we can work through any of the comments that we have. And the other comments that Mr. Murphy talked about, we agreed to his responses, so we're good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kate?
Sure. So, thank you, Mr. Murphy. I could tell you read my letter. So to the new members of this board, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. It's in my letter, and many of you have heard this before. This is this zone, this R4R zone, is very different than a lot of the typical zones in the township. It was put into place about 20 years ago, form-based zoning, where it's not so much to the letter of setbacks. It was really based on the maps and just sort of the general idea of having a conservation-based zoning. However, that all got kind of blown up when the environmental regulations changed. So that is why the applicant is proposing fewer dwellings than is permitted, because it's the only way to really meet the standard, because there's no way around that 300-foot riparian buffer. One thing that is different from this plan versus the prior plans, and I think that they gave like a concept to this board about a year ago, but the applicant is requesting variances for 5 of the lots to be under 60,000 square feet. And as I said in our letter, I take no issue with that. I think it makes sense. It is a way to make sure that none of the environmental constraints are on the properties. These are still property sizes that I think are in compliance with the intent of the zone. Everything's at least 50,000 square feet, and it is only 5 of the 15 lots, I believe, that are requiring those. Otherwise, as we've heard, part of the reason that I think that this application had some issues in the past was because the difficulties with building a trail. And, I just want to commend the applicant for working with the county to actually get that done. But it's going to be a condition of this approval, and that will really provide a connection between this portion of Homedale and the new extension of Homedale Park to the north. So I think that all of my questions have been answered. Thank you, Mr. Murphy, for your detailed testimony. So yeah, that's really all that I have. The variances are related to the 5 building lots, and then a few of those waivers that were technical in nature, and that I think the combination of just the new layout, just changes to the area, changes to the zoning in general. I think that everything's appropriate. So that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Kate. I guess. All right, so at this time, if anyone from the public like to come up, state your name, and ask questions. Yeah.
Sure, you can always ask.
Yeah.
This lady approached me before the meeting. This is the first time she was attending, so she was wondering when public comments would be open, so that's why I
Right.
waved to her.
Right, so just, right now it's questions. Comments will be done
Okay.
next, so.
My name is Tina Friedman, and I'm a resident of Coltstack, and my property is...
Yeah, and we need your actual address,
Okay,
so.
Tina Friedman, 1039 State Route 34 in Coltstack.
I'm sorry,
Can
could
you-
you spell your last name, please?
Freedman.
Yeah, try
Thank you.
to
Might be easy to hold the mic
project,
down.
project a little bit, yeah.
It's just a question about what I heard this evening. First of all, I'm happy to hear about the 300-foot buffer. That's great. But the basins itself, they're not gonna, my question is, are they gonna encroach into the 300-foot buffer or the open space, or is that separate?
They will not encroach into the 300-foot buffer. There will be a pipe that discharges to the stream that would encroach into the 300-foot buffer, and we need permitting from the DEP to do that.
So the basins won't
No.
be part of that, or the open space area?
They're part of the open space lot currently, but they'll be within an easement.
All right, and is any of the designs, they're just, we can come up into the planning board area and take a look at it at any time?
Yeah, absolutely. 8 to 4.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. A young lady, come on up.
I'm the only woman on
That's
that side
right.
of the room, so I guess it's me.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenny Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. One question. What is the status of that illegal dumping at the way back? I've been hearing about it for 10 to 15 years. What does it consist of, and who's going to take it away?
We're told that the client indicates that anything that it was farmed property, so whatever was dumped, they thought they were allowed to do. I'm told, number one, they tested the soil, and we believe it was provided to the town years ago when this came up, but we will provide that documentation again.
That it's all gone?
Yeah, and it's all clean. There's no
Stuff.
no contamination. It was just soil.
Okay, my other question is,
But
who is...
if the board were to approve it, we will provide whatever documentation.
Get rid of
We
it.
have to demonstrate that there's no contamination.
Yeah, because last I heard Freehold Soil was going to do something, but...
That's all been addressed. It was years ago.
Excellent. My other question is, who is responsible for building the trail?
Whoever develops this project,
Okay. So if
As
it
part
gets
of the road
approved, then it's
infrastructure.
on their head to do it.
exactly.
Follow-up question, who's going to maintain it after it's built?
That's the county would. That's the county park system.
Okay.
And I've personally spoken to the county park system. They're thrilled to get this.
Because it's a lot of work to keep a trail going. Okay, I had a comment, but it's not a question.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
Hausman, 13 Chestnut Ridge Road. My question has to do with, Jenny's right on this. My question has to do with the positioning of the septic fields. And I know there's enough area per field on this entire vast to meet standards. But the fact that you have them, it's just a curiosity question, the fact that you have them all clustered by the road, have you had that reviewed? I mean, I've never seen anything in that sense. They're all adjacent to the paved road, they're all clustered together. Will they be able to work and function and distribute as they should? It is unique.
Sure. Thank you for your question. It's not uncommon to have them placed in the front yard, just because then if you place them in the backyard, you have problems with patios and pools and decks and things like that in the future. So it's not uncommon, and it's actually typical to try to provide them in the front yard, which is what we're doing.
Right.
And there's all requirements as far as separation to trees, to drainage, to the house, to the lot lines, to each other that we have to maintain, and we are.
And the paved road as well.
Correct. And we have to get approval on each septic on each lot individually from the health department as well.
Years ago, we had something called a nitrate dilution model, which spoke about in this type of soil needing approximately 2.5 to 4 acres per septic, and here we are in a confined space.
Yeah,
and the houses are also. I'm repeating my question. I apologize.
No, it's okay. But that's part of the reason why they have the density requirements of 5 acres per lot, so that you have that density. Also, as I indicated, we do have to go through the health department to get their approval, so we have to comply with the health department rules and the state rules, the DEP rules that comply 7:9(a) that dictates
because
septics.
the rows of houses in the street almost look like foundations, and look like a barrier. Will the septics have any impact, or the rain gardens have any impact on the septics?
No, they're all set. The separation is
adequate?
Yeah, exactly.
And the roofs are draining into the rain gardens?
Into the dry wells, typically.
Into the dry wells, and do that feed into the rain garden, or that's separate?
No, that's separate.
Right. How much of the, different question, how much of the stormwater handling is relied on the functioning of the rain gardens?
So the rain gardens are only for small storms. So they're not designed or meant for larger storms. It's only the frequent events, the one-year storms that come often, but it's not a lot of rain. So once they fill, they'll overflow into the storm system.
So if the, okay, so because they do, as you read, they do play in your total stormwater.
Oh yeah, it's part of our stormwater design, without a doubt.
Right. So the question is, what legally requires the homeowners association, if an overwhelming number of people don't want that as they perceive it, wouldn't perceive an eyesore in their front yard, and the homeowners association as a group votes to eliminate the rain gardens, and we've had in town a problem maintaining rain gardens. Is there some legal situation?
So there's two things. Number one is there's what's called an operations and maintenance manual that's going to be recorded in the county clerk's office on each property, and it's going to require the HOA to maintain it. And it's standard. It's done everywhere. And if they don't do it, then it gives the town the ability to go in, do it, and then assess the property owners. So they cannot eliminate them. They'll be contained within easements as well. So there'll be documentation, and it'll be recorded in the county clerk's office, and it runs with the land. So as people sell, it shows up in their title searches, and they have no choice but to comply.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Ervik Kiboyan, and we're the new owners of 34 South Homedale Road.
Say it again?
34 South Homedale Road property.
Okay.
So we got the property less than 2 months ago, and this is our first exposure to the project and what's about to happen. So my first question is, do we have time to review the plan or no? Because we received the letter less than a week ago, so we're not really understanding how it relates to our property.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what the law requires. the notice that you got is the time period that the law sets out.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I would just like to know how it relates and how the trail relates to our property.
So which property are you?
It's 34 South Homedale Road.
I don't know if the aerial helps, Brian, or?
Was that one marked, the aerial, you from last time?
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah.
It's the same area that was.
Okay.
We're right behind the creek.
A2.
You're the one past the funeral home, south of the funeral home? Yeah. I
So
think
that's past the map bottom. I think it's past the aerial.
No, it's on,
It's on there?
Yeah.
Well, if you said it's past the funeral home.
Yeah, there's that one, it used to be an accountant's office. Yeah. It's all by itself, right at the bottom before you, before you hit Cold Stone on that street.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Way down.
Way down.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I see it there, 'cause that's fine.
No, it's on either side of the red where it hits.
Oh, that's not pointing north.
That-
I
that-
see it's, yeah, okay, that's what confused me. There you go. That's
And
not.
it's lot 25. It's Brian, lot
You can point out, Robert.
It's gonna be, I think it's right there, yeah. So what is that has to do with, if there's any trails going back to the property, or there's something in
What
that
is the
section?
question?
He's
I'd like
asking
to
about the
understand how
trail.
it relates.
What's the relation of our property with the property?
Sure.
that-
So we want to understand how it relates to our property, if the trail has anything to do close to our property or not.
Referring to A4, it's the only house really shown on that southeast side, down in this corner. So you're adjacent to where the trail end is going to be going out to the roadway. Behind you is wetlands, so we're not touching any of that. There's a 300-foot buffer on our side and your side, technically. So we're well far away. Our development, at least, is well far away from it. But the trail would be coming out adjacent.
And do we know the distance of trail towards the property or not? The
Roughly
approximate.
80 feet. Yeah.
Thank you.
And what will just to confirm, the material of the trail is going to be wood chips and natural material, correct?
We're proposing a natural
Yes.
material. We're going to have to work with county
Yes,
on that, on
okay.
their direction. Yes.
All right. Anyone else from the public have any questions? Okay, so at this time, questions are closed. At this time, we'll take comments from the public. Come up, young lady. See, now you know it's you.
Jenny Blumenthal, 41 Stony
That's
Brook
just
Road.
sworn in, Jenny.
We're gonna swear you in.
Okay, well, it's still me.
That's you.
No, we have to swear you in
Swear you in.
Oh.
for the comment portion.
Swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth.
Sure, Jenny.
Thank you.
I just request that when you make up a list of the trees you're planting, to have a variety of different trees. Don't plant all the same species, because over the course of, golly, the last 25 years when I've been dealing with this issue, you end up with emerald ash borer problems or woolly algae on the hemlocks. So have a variety of them, so if some of them decide to get eaten up by God knows what, they won't all die at once. And don't plant anything that's not indigenous, you know, don't go planting any barberries and stuff like that, or English ivy.
You want to respond to that?
Sure. We have a full landscape plan that's going to be approved by the board professionals, and we definitely have a variety of plants.
Yes, come on up. Oh, okay, you can come up first. That's all right. I didn't see it.
Hello. Roberta Kaufman.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. And this is most likely self-serving, but both Ralph Blumenthal and I, worked on the form-based zoning and in 2005, and this is the first really fine plan. I mean, it's had impacts in other places, but I'm really pleased to see this plan and pleased to see all that dedicated open space, and I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. You break it, you bought it. No, all right. Yes, ma'am, you want to come up?
I'm going to swear you in first.
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And we didn't get it last time, but can you please spell your name for the record?
Friedman, F-R-E-E-D.
I'm sorry, we got that. I missed your first name is what I meant.
Tina.
Tina, thank you.
T-I-N-A, yes. So I just wanted to confirm that this is going to be the last meeting before everything moves forward, and also to ask about when the start date is.
If there's a vote tonight, it'll be the last meeting.
It will be.
And I suspect we're probably done with everything, so I'm sure there'll be a vote tonight.
Okay. just
And then
curious.
in terms of timing, we have DEP approvals to obtain, county approvals to obtain. You're probably looking at least a year. Just in our world, a year goes very quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the township won't be able to sign off on the plans until all of the conditions of approval are met, which includes all of these outside agency approvals.
Okay, so that means there won't be any requested variances or anything new, correct?
If anything changes, we have to come back to the board with a new public hearing, notice to the public, et cetera.
Yeah, any vote that's made is based on what we have now. If there's changes, then that'll have to be addressed later. If there's changes, yeah. Yes, Ralph?
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is nothing but the truth?
Ralph Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. I'm just going to reiterate what Roberta said. It's been a long time coming that since we worked on the form-based design with this. It was a lot of fun doing it with a professor from Rutgers as well as our planner, Paul Phillips. And it's interesting to see how this has evolved, especially given the changes in the DEP regulations. And our hope is that this will be an outstanding development, and maintaining the rural appearance of Homedale. Does it meet every last period and comma? There are some minor lot size changes, and I think as Kate indicated, the master plan is guidance. It do not intend to carry everything to the last foot or square inch. And it's been a long time coming with prior owners, prior engineers, and be great to see this move forward. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public before I close it? Okay, public comments are now closed at this time. The board, any questions of the applicant or the professionals? You have something to say, Sal, first?
Well, I have a summation, but we need some guidance on, we've agreed to address everything. The only thing we had asked for relief on was the interconnection of the trail to the cul-de-sac bulb that was suggested by your environmental commission. We deferred to the board when you deliberate how you want to handle that, but I just didn't want to get lost, and then we didn't deal with it. But otherwise, I just have a brief summation.
You want to summate
No,
before?
let's see if the board has questions first.
And Brian pointed out, whatever you decide as it relates to that connection, the county would have to, and the DEP would have to agree as well.
Good.
Mr. Murphy, the original plan had a approximately 300-foot setback. It's now approximately 400 feet setback. What is the exact number? Is it start with a 3 or does it start with a 4? Because what's a reasonable modification to you might not be a reasonable modification to me or us. So I have an issue with the word approximately.
So
2.03 is 390, and let me get the 219 is also 390.
So it's under 400 then?
Yes, it's under 400, it's 390.
Thank you. My other comment would be, we're all for open space and we're all for walking trails, but I'd like to just push back on the point that Homedale is gaining something by getting these walking trails. There is no guarantee those walking trails will be approved by the DEP. There is none. In fact, we're still waiting for our bike path to be approved. So I want to just push back this horse trading that a lot of the testimony was Homedale's getting walking trails and more open space. I don't think 15 single-family homes is a fair trade for something that very likely could never be built. That's not to say I'm not for open space. We're all for open space and the bucolic nature of Homedale. But I just want to make this board aware that I don't think we should, again, our job here is to think, what's the benefit to Homedale? 15 single-family homes puts undue or additional pressure on our schools, on our EMS, our police and fire. So I just want to make clear that I'd like to push back a bit up on this aspect of horse trading, that we're going to get walking trails out of this, and it's going to be an interconnected walking trail, which may not ever happen.
Is your concern that the walking trail is not a benefit, or that you're afraid we won't be able to deliver the walking
Correct.
trail?
It may never happen. So
If the board were condition approval on the approval of the walking trail, would that allay that concern? Because our understanding is that that's what it would be.
the county can be thrilled with the offer. That doesn't mean it's going to be approved.
The point
Again,
is, and if it's
so
not-
my answer is twofold. I just don't think a walking trail in swapping for 15 single-family homes is more of a benefit to Homedale.
All right, and
That's my concern.
So number one is the board can certainly condition approval on the deliverance of those walking trails, and the county approval, obviously, and the DEP approval. Number two is our density is less than what's allowed here, so it's not as if we're getting extra lots because we're giving you a walking trail. We're getting fewer lots than what was originally approved years ago, and fewer than what the ordinance allows. So, I mean, it's your call, but I think it's not a trade-off. We don't think it's a trade-off. It's just an extra benefit.
Well, it just, there wasn't, in the previous plan, there wasn't any mention, it was just an idea of walking trails, correct? There was no real set plan for walking trails. Now the county
No.
is,
Ron, I just want to jump in real quick and just say that the walking trails are a requirement of development on this site. If they were not providing it, if they couldn't provide it, they would have to come back to this board and get a variance. I believe this was an issue in a prior application, and that's one of the reasons that they want the county, that it was suggested that the county be involved, because I think, they'll have a little easier time. But the walking trails that is a requirement of this zone. You have to build those or request a deviation, and they're not, so.
all right, then a condition of approval by the DEP would
So,
allay my
it's-
fears.
It's not even condition of approval. It's that if they don't build it, they can't comply with the resolution, and they'd have to come back.
We'll still call it out, just so you're
Yeah,
satisfied.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. You can absolutely still call it out, but it is intrinsic to the zone, and it has always been part of this development.
Just one last comment for members who weren't on this board originally. Mr. Alfieri, I'm sure you're going to remember this. We had a previous board member who was the president of the Monmouth Conservation Society, and he put a request into you, your applicant, that there was a barn on the property that was possibly historic in nature, and he asked for permission to inspect it to see if there was anything that his foundation could have done to save that barn. You granted that, but then 3 days later, or 2 to 3 days later, the barn was demolished. I just want members of this board to understand that that's exactly what happened. Do I have that situation correct?
My recollection, it was a few years back, so, and my memory is not the best, but there were also violations issued by the town because of the safety condition, and that's why my client demolished it. I don't remember the timing as well as you do, so I don't know if it was days, months, years.
It was
But there were
within a week of
there
when.
were, there were safety violations that were issued by the town. That's why it became an issue for my client.
Well, I would have thought those safety violations would have been known to you when he asked at a meeting whether he can go inspect it, or his foundation can inspect it.
Well, it wasn't known to me, because I wouldn't have any personal knowledge, but that's all I could tell you, because that's all I could remember from it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the board aware of previous.
Yeah, I knew there was something about landmarks there. I just couldn't remember what it was or something like that.
Katie, I'm not sure if this is a question for you or for you, Mr. Alfieri. Will the trails, the walking trails, be built prior to the homes being built, or is it in conjunction with both? So will the trails be completed before the homes?
I don't know, yeah.
We would certainly agree that before any COs were issued, that all that work would have to be approved, installed and approved. That would be no problem.
The walking
Before the first CO is issued, yes.
The walking trails will be.
Yes.
Anyone else? No? I hear Craig say something? No? We're all good? All right, so I guess,
Sal wanted a summation.
Yeah, just
Oh,
very
yeah,
briefly,
so Sal, make a summation.
This is a very unique ordinance in that this form-based zoning is very unique and creative, and to the credit of the people who were involved when it was done, it provided a project that we've gotten fewer lots than we wanted, but I think it meets the intent clearly of what the vision was back when this was originally done. As your professionals have indicated, we've addressed every technical comment, and your professionals agree that the variances and waivers that were associated with that are associated with this design are reasonable and meet the standard of municipal land use law. Kate points out, and again, and Brian testified to it, that the boundaries of the location shown on each figure should be considered approximate and subject to reasonable modification for specific factors when development applications are submitted. This property has been pinched because of changes in the DEP regulations. Now we have this 300-foot buffer, but the intent of the form-based zoning, as indicated by the members of the committee that did the ordinance back years ago in the master plan, has been met. There is a benefit to the community and to the county with this large open space area that's going to be dedicated to the county with the walking trail. So we think we've met our legal burdens, and therefore we respectfully request that the board grant the approval subject to all the conditions we've stipulated during the course of the testimony, including this evening's hearing. And again, don't forget we have that interconnection issue we need your guidance on.
Okay, so, anyone want to make a motion to accept the application? Based on all the terms and conditions and...
Either during that discussion or now, we should discuss, does the board want to make that trail interconnect to the cul-de-sac or not?
Oh.
Might want to do that first.
So the plan is to have a dedicated location where access to the trail will be from, off of South Homedale Road. Is that correct?
Correct.
From the county?
That's correct.
Just trying to visualize. So you're saying that to get to the
wanna
trail,
point-
you're
can
going
you
to go
point it out?
through
Brian,
Main Street, through...
No, so
on the bottom
if you,
there,
if
okay.
anyone has my my letter in front of them, I have the exhibits. Figure 3 shows, again, these were just really these are suggestions mostly, but there shows like kind of an offshoot of the trail connecting to that cul-de-sac. That I think is what the Environmental Commission requested.
And we have no objection. We'd prefer that it not be provided, but we have no objection either way. We completely defer to the board.
Yeah, it would probably just involve, the HOA would have to have something written in their laws about it, I guess, but yeah, not for the boards to determine.
And obviously the county and DP would have to schedule that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Brian will point out the other area of connection,
Sure, so it connects basically off down along that adjacent lot that we indicated before and comes across along the back of the properties. So I think the last time the issue was a lot of this was within the C1 buffer almost entirely, so we've moved it out as much as we could to run along the edge of the C1, and where we couldn't, we came back in. And it's already in areas that are disturbed, so we feel like we have a better shot with DEP, and also having the county as a better shot as well. But basically the connection comes in off the roadway, comes across the rear of the property, through the existing farmland, around this wetland finger that comes up, and then back out to Newman Springs Road.
And what's there now, right there, where you're proposing it? Nothing, just grass?
Just grass, yeah.
And how's that gonna impact that house that's right there?
It's gonna be a pathway.
Just a pathway? I mean, people gonna be walking, are they gonna be able to see them just like walking past their house now?
Yeah, it's about 80, 100 feet away from their property line. It's on the side where their parking lot is.
And the other end, when it ends at Newman Springs Road, what happens there?
It's a dead end to Newman Springs Road.
So there's no trail north?
Not at this point.
So you're going to walk from South Homedale Road to Newman Springs Road, basically?
On this part of the trail, yes.
So it does, as it stands now, it does not connect with some of the other plots that were referenced earlier today?
But, yeah, but the county has a master plan that's bigger than this.
Yes.
It's just beyond the scope of this project.
The idea is you're getting sections done as they come along.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but is there a way that they can put up, I don't know, like trees or something, so it's not, I just don't, they live there, so I don't know what, people just passing by, and I don't know if that's gonna be obtrusive to their quality of life or not, so.
So it is a C1 buffer in that area.
Okay.
If we're allowed to plant trees along that, I can do a row of evergreens if they allow it along that area. I would agree to that.
Well, can we put that in if
Yep,
if
sure.
they allow it?
If they allow
just-
it, yeah.
That'd be good. Okay.
Will there be parking there?
No, we're not proposing any parking.
But Sal, just so I'm clear on the record, didn't you say you want to connect it possibly to the cul-de-sac?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a discussion.
That's the question.
That's
You wanna
what
point-
yeah.
Where would that be, just for the boards, not,
So basically, it would most likely come right off the back of the cul-de-sac down into the pathway.
and you prefer not to do that, as I recall the testimony?
Sure, again, for the reasons I stated, but we're leaving that up to the board.
And the trails aren't lit, right? They're just,
No.
okay, just making sure. Okay.
We just wanna
Yeah, because
clarify.
once this property is dedicated, this piece would become part of the Monmouth County Park System. So it would be public access. So, yeah.
So you're saying guides on the connection to the cul-de-sac?
That little piece from the trail to the cul-de-sac is what they're asking. Did we want to require that? They're proposing not to do that.
I don't see any reason unless someone else here has a reason.
Yeah.
Because, we don't want also people parking in the cul-de-sac to just go use the trail either, so. Plus maybe security thing, people walking in there, I don't see a need unless someone else feels differently. Yeah, okay.
I would ask what's
Would-
the benefit for them.
Yeah, the homeowners, would they be able to access that trail? Is that walkable to get back there if they wanted to use those trails without a path from the cul-de-sac?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we're gonna have the access around the basins.
Yeah.
So technically, they could walk along the basin and walk down the grass portion between.
If enough people go there, there'll be another.
And if that's
nature
in
trail
an
there.
easement, that's technically HOA's
Correct.
access anyway.
Correct.
Okay, so let's add that condition we talked about the trees if they allow it, to give them a little more privacy. And, okay, so, we're all good?
So it sounds like the board does not see the need to connect to the
Yes.
cul-de-sac. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine.
Right, am I speaking it? Okay, good, okay. Okay, so with that being said, I guess, who wants to make a motion to approve? What's the right term I gotta say?
Subject to
Subject to
all the conditions.
All the
There's
conditions.
been a few
yes.
hearings, and I'll just go through those notes when we do the resolution and send it to council.
Okay.
Prior.
Sure. I'll make the motion with all approvals.
I'll second.
Mr. Connolly,
Yes.
Mr. Ackerson,
Yes.
Mr. Mon,
Yes.
Mr. Emma,
No.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Silberman.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night. All right, so at this time, there's no professional reports due, so.
Motion and second to adjourn.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Have a good night.